yeah, I feel like I do know a lot of Spanish speakers that I guess get annoyed with people that don't speak Spanish that are Hispanic or Latino background, but I definitely don't think that you need to speak the language to be in tune with your culture. Not at all. Because I don't think it's their decision to make it, they learn it or not. If anything, it's their upbringing. You don't know their circumstance. You don't know if they didn't grow up with a parent that was, a speaker of the language, or that parent didn't teach them. For example, like I have a cousin who lives in North Carolina. They don't live in a community where there are a lot of Spanish speakers. And my aunt would say a couple words, but she never taught him the language. So, like, I can't really blame him for not speaking Spanish because, he wasn't around family members that actually spoke it. So I feel like it is very easy to judge people that don't speak the language, but it's all depending on their circumstance. So I find it very hard to judge them for not speaking their language, their heritage language at all. I was born in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. When I was 4 years old, I moved to Washington, D.C. Technically, I'm considered like a 1.5 generation. In linguistics, as we learned how if you come at an early age, your parents came here when they were adults, and you came here when you were, still a child. So you're considered like as in the 1.5 generation because you weren't born here, however, you grew up here. The U.S. is home for me because, I don't even remember living in the D.R. So the U.S. is home for me. However, like when I do go back to the D.R., like I feel like that's home. So I feel like I can see both as, I wouldn't mind, living there and just, moving there and living there. I wouldn't mind that at all. But, the U.S. is home for me because, like, I've been here since I was 4 and, this is where I grew up. I'm a naturalized citizen. My mother went through the naturalization process before I was 18. So I became a citizen due to the fact that my mom, became naturalized. So I'm a citizen. If someone asked me, like, what are you? I would say I'm Dominican. And more specifically, like, I'm Afro-Dominican. Because I feel like that encompasses my nationality and also my race. So I would say I'm Afro-Dominican.
You say you don't call yourself
American. Yeah, I've never used Dominican American or American to identify myself. Even though like I am a citizen and I did grow up here, I've never used like Dominican American to identify myself. I've always used Dominican. I guess like my household, is a Dominican household. Like, we all immigrated here. And I've like, before you asked me, do I consider myself Dominican American? I never even thought of, considering myself American. I guess because I consider being an immigrant a big part of my identity because like I know that I grew up here, but like my roots do not lie in the United States. So I've never even considered using American to identify myself. People over there don't tend to use Latino or Hispanic because I feel like people over there have a strong, I guess, sense of their nationality and they have a sense that, uniqueness. My mom's bought a car and like the first thing we bought for our car was like our small flag to put, underneath the mirror. Like I just feel like we have a big sense of, we're this and not that. Just how sometimes, like, for example, somebody would say, I have a Puerto Rican bracelet with the flag on it. Someone's like, oh, you're Puerto Rican. I'm like, no, I'm Dominican. Like, you're very, I guess, like, not defensive, but you're very quick to explain, like, we're different. A lot of times people will be like, oh, Puerto Rican and Dominicans are all the same thing, or Panamanians, Dominicans are all the same thing. And you're very quick to say, no, we're not. Like, we're from a different, different islands, we're different people. So you're very quick to say, you're not the same. I guess it's important to be proud of, where your roots lie, the heritage where you're from, even though you recognize that, there are a lot of faults and a lot of faults that have happened and not necessarily a lot of progress where you come from. So I guess, yeah, like, even with different politics, from where I'm from, the Dominican Republic, like, I have a lot of pride in, being from where I'm from. However, a lot of specific issues dealing with, our neighbors in Haiti and a lot of other politics that comes with, immigration. There's a lot of stances that we've taken as a nation. It's definitely, I definitely feel a lot of shame to a lot of the steps that our government has taken. But yeah, I'm proud of where I'm from, even though it's 2016 and a lot of the decisions that the government back there has taken, I'm not very proud of. The Constitutional Court ruling in the Dominican Republic denationalized Haitian migrants and their descendants in the Dominican Republic and Dominicans of Haitian descent. The whole issue with the whole nationalization law and all that, and I feel like it's unfair to make a law that's retroactive. Like, I feel like a retroactive law is a big indicator of a corruptive government. And that just all around is something that should not have happened. I'm not sure how that law passed. And, it's very unfortunate that someone that only knows a country and they were at one point a citizen of a country no longer has that, has that right that they were born with, and they were stripped of that. Like that to me has no logic. You can't make a retroactive law that strips you of something that you had at one point. It makes no sense.